my husband Harris, did the streets, laid out the plan for the development. And of course he loved it here, and he loved the golf course just as it is, and he would have a fit if he thought somebody was coming in and putting in houses. He was a lovely man.
Love having to wake up in the morning and look out at the greens. We love to be able to see the golfers and wave. We enjoy having a place where we could raise our kids in a large city and feel like we're in the country.
We're from Holland. We came here to live the American dream, but it looks like Mr. Ahmad is going to take everything away and take everybody's dreams away that moved here, and he's going to live his dream. And I don't think that's right. It's just too precious. It's too important for Vegas to have something like this. Old neighborhood, I mean, the houses, it's one of a kind, and we cannot do that. He cannot do that.
Based on the information that we've been given, we need to take care of this matter today. Otherwise, we will have no recourse after the fact. And John Knott will be able to, once he records the documents, then we can't say anything after the recording. So we got to take care of it before he records this and get it on record.
Hi, I'm Assemblyman Tick Sager-Bloom. I represent the area that includes the National Golf Course, and I know that there's an issue coming up with respect to the development of the golf course, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. The first thing is that I strongly oppose any type of development of the golf course. I mean, it was obviously built to be a golf course. That was the intention of everyone at the time, to be a golf course in perpetuity. The houses were built to be on the golf course, and the fact that now it turns out that there may be some loophole where they could destroy the golf course and build houses there, I think is totally unacceptable. And personally, I will do anything I can to do to make sure that doesn't happen. Second thing is, it's my understanding that right now, the owner of the golf course has brought forth plans to create a tentative map for the golf course, which would show that the housing development is intended for that golf course. And I think that it's very critical that the homeowners who oppose this idea come forward right now and stand up, because based upon my knowledge of the law, once that tentative map is approved, if it is approved, then it will be too late to fight as to whether there is a right to build houses there. Right now, the property is zoned R1, but there's a legal question of whether, because that was how it was developed when it was first made a golf course, whether there actually can be houses. But once a tentative map is approved, then that means that the county has acknowledged that the golf course can be developed as a housing project. There still may be some issues with respect to the size of the lots, and how many lots and drainage and things like that, but the fact is the county would be saying basically to the developer, yes, we agree, this is appropriate to be residential housing. And so once that's done, then the rest of, that's over with. The horse is out of the barn, and so we need to make sure that does not happen, in my opinion. Basically, a tentative map, you have a zoning, in this case, which is R1, which basically says the county has said that this could be developed residential. The tentative map, the developer comes in and says, here's what we intend to do with that zoning. And they will have drawn out different lots, streets, utilities. They'll draw out a tentative proposal for how they want to use that piece of property. Now, right now, even though not the master plan, but the zoning is R1, we're disputing that fact, because the R1 zoning was put in when it was originally made a golf course. So obviously there's a conflict between the fact that it was made a golf course, the zoning is R1, the master plan, which is a higher level document, says it's supposed to be open space. So there's a conflict there. But once this tentative map is approved, then basically everyone's saying, yes, we agreed that this couldn't be residential property, and that's why it's so serious. And once we let this thing happen, if it did happen, we would have a hard time backing up and saying, oh, by the way, that really wasn't our intentions, because at that point the county has given the stamp of approval to making the golf course residential. I think there's a lot of different ways to go about trying to fight this tentative map, and I'm working with some of the landowners to do that. But as you know, there is some type of a toxic waste spill that is goes under some of the property, including the golf course. I think that's one avenue we can use to say, wait a minute, you can't consider tentative map until that issue is resolved, and that issue is going to be many, many more years. The second is the possibility of legal action to go in and try to clarify what the status of the golf course is, and based upon its development, its initial development. And the third thing would be to just go in to the county and fight this tentative map from day one, using the staff, using the fact that the proposed lots are too small, they haven't made room for drainage. There's all kinds of issues that could just be fought just as you would fight any tentative map. And I think, frankly, that all three of those options, and maybe more, need to be pursued. But I just want to urge everyone first to fight this, because I think it would be outrageous to eliminate this golf course, which is in the heart of my district, but it's also in the heart of Las Vegas, and it's one of the most historic areas in our town. And as you know, we don't have very much history in this town. And secondly, I want to urge you to use different resources to fight this, because as you know, landowners and property owners are very sophisticated. They have lots of legal resources and other avenues, and if we don't bring the same resources to bear, this could be out of our reach before we know it. So I think now is the time to fight, and we can't just fight now. We're going to have to fight for a long time, but we can't let this tentative map issue go unchallenged, in my opinion. So that's basically what I want to tell everyone, that I support you, I'm with you, anything I can do to help. I'm working with your County Commissioner, Chris Giuliani, but this is going to take all of our resources to fight.